the idea that there's a 24-year-old like bum mouth like dude who doesn't really have it figured out there. It's for me is like yeah, it was just cathartic. Found it like reassuring and relatable. So.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Stay Gold channel. We're back with another movie chest. This week's pick is The King of Staten Island, directed by Judd Apatow. And I'm going to be really honest. I picked this movie because I didn't think Pete Davidson was real.
Didn't think he was a real person?
Yeah, because he's just so unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's just everywhere. And the very first scene I ever saw, like, of this movie was the scene where Bill Burr's, is that his name? Yeah, character confronts the mom about the tattoo. And I was like, dang, I think I kind of want to watch that. And I've been wanting to watch it ever since, just haven't gone around to it until now. So,
nice.
Yeah. What'd you guys think?
Well, first off, is Pete Davidson real?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
so.
I think he
Pretty real.
exists.
Well, he's in Taco Bell commercials now, so he has to exist.
Is he? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Aren't they like super meta too? Like those
They are.
they're like way too many levels. But
Mhm.
yeah, this was my first time watching. Same with you, Patricia. I think
Yeah.
other two, you guys have watched it, right? You've seen it before.
Yeah.
So it's on my list too. I'm glad you picked it. Glad I got around to it. I think I also have went into this movie with the mindset of like this whole week I had like an existential crisis of being like, am I being too like soft on movies nowadays? Like, am I letting them get too much? And I kind of like brought down the axe hard on this movie, I guess, to counter it. But I think this one kind of deserved it too a little bit. So
yeah, it's a Judd Apatow movie, and like he's made some good ones, but
Yeah.
he needs to know when to just like stop filming. Call it quits, make it shorter. It was just so.
It was so long.
Yeah, by the end of the movie, I just felt tired and beat up, to be honest. I mean, it had its moments where I was like, okay, this is a pretty good Judd Apatow film, but other than that, it was kind of like, felt like knocked up, where it was just like, this movie is over 2 hours long. Why?
Yeah.
But, yeah, same feeling. It was just okay. But
yeah. I feel like with Judd Apatow movies, at least in my experience, I've always liked the moments where it's like more dramatic, but it's actually funny. I don't know if that makes sense, because I feel like most dramas are funnier than when they try to make it comedy. That makes sense. So it's like the real parts. I actually enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would, probably more than you guys. Because I pretty much laughed the whole movie. I don't know if my humor's just whack right now.
Dark as Pete Davidson's.
Yeah. I know him also from like his dad jokes. So any dad jokes, I'm like, what's up, fellow daddy issues person? But I feel like I was actually more surprised by how he performed in this movie. I feel like he was very likable, I guess, in my opinion. He never came across as annoying to me.
Nice.
I don't know. Am I just being weird now? Okay.
No, I think this movie probably hits a lot of people differently depending on how your enjoyment level of Pete Davidson. Because I actually kind of like him as like a person. I think he's like a decently genuine and funny person. But I kind of did the flip side on this. I thought he didn't really do a great job in this movie. Personally, I kind of thought he seemed like he was like phoning it in at times. Okay. And I don't know if that was like intentional to his character being like not present or whatever, type of thing. But there were several times where I kind of wanted to get a little more deeper into like his emotional, like something. I just wanted something, and I wasn't given anything from him to like bring me somewhere with him. I don't know. And maybe that was the character. So
yeah,
I related to him. I kind of wanted a little more. Since like this is like his debut, this is Pete Davidson to show you kind of his story.
It's like semi-autobiographical or whatever.
So,
yeah, I upon reviewing, I found it like personally a lot more of a cathartic experience for me. Like I was, and like this one, and I don't know if you guys seen Big Time Adolescence, but like I was comparing this one kind of to that one a little bit because Big Time Adolescence is kind of like a coming of age movie, and he's like sort of this older mentor who's like a bad influence on this high school kid and that kind of thing. And like there were like parallels between some of these characters I found, and yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe I just find it easy to relate to Pete Davidson, but I don't know. I'm turning 24 this month, and like the idea that there's a 24-year-old like bum mouth like dude who doesn't really have it figured out there, it's for me is like yeah, it was just cathartic. Found it like reassuring and relatable, so
yeah. But, I mean, to me that was like the highlight of this movie, and I guess probably every Apatow movie is like you get to the end of the scene for these movies, like the scenes, and like they don't really say something to me except for like these people exist in this time, like, and they just are the way they are. And like that's like refreshing in a way to be like, yeah, we're just kind of like living with these people. We're kind of seeing, it's like almost a slice of life movie, basically just kind of spending a time with some characters in their lives and just like chilling,
Right.
Experience what they experienced a little bit. Like there were scenes that like I guess pushed stuff forward, like the robbery scene, the baseball park scene, the dude getting stabbed at the fire station, the fire, like they all like functioned in the same way though. You know what I mean? Like we weren't like learning anything super new. It was like more like a repeating pattern, or maybe because like Pete Davidson's character is like this guy's stuck in his patterns or whatever. So
yeah, he wasn't like really connected to the plot a lot though. So like the things that happened seemed almost kind of inconsequential because it's just gonna be the next thing. It's like, well, that's the movie. Like, there's probably some guy out there who's like, dude, you just don't fucking get it, man. Like, and I agree. Maybe it's smarter than I'm giving it credit for, but
I don't think it is. But
yeah, I really appreciate his like approach to making movies, where he like just like he like talks to people and is like, hey, if you got something, give it to me, and we'll like make like a lot of times it's with comedians, obviously, but that's a unique approach. For this one, I think it was just like, honestly, I kind of felt like there was points along the way that him and Pete Davidson maybe just were like lazy in this process. So like the scenes weren't as punchy as they could have been. They weren't as solid as like a couple more attempts at like chiseling. I don't know, maybe not. But like that's, to me, it felt like he's made so many movies now with the same approach that he's like, let's do the Pete Davidson one. Pete, what you got? You put it on page. Let's film it. Let's go. Okay, cool. And we got it.
I think to the aspect of the way Judd Apatow films and stuff is like he lets the comedians riff off each other. But like with his other movies like 40-Year-Old Virgin, which is one of my favorite comedies, and like Knocked Up, when he has those scenes where they're just riffing off each other, those comedians seem a little bit more refined
on it. Yeah.
And the chemistry that they have with each other is just like more relatable, like how they treat each other and Knocked Up and the 40-Year-Old Virgin when they're just like bashing each other. It's like that's how me and my friends interact a lot of the time too. We just we bullshit, and it feels more realistic and relatable than this movie did for me. Like Pete Davidson was just kind of annoying for me.
He gets away with a lot of stuff. I didn't find him annoying, but like he's almost like he's like a mentally challenged person almost, where it's like he just can't. Like people just let him get away with stuff. They let him because he's just that guy, and he's got mental problems or whatever. And they don't really dig into like they don't really like they dig into the daddy issues of it all, but they don't dig into like the psyche of it all. Like And then the tattooing of Bill Burr's back, that was supposed to be like some like cathartic like, yeah, he's got talent. I'm not gonna lie, those tattoos were not very good. Like to be like
no.
So it's like they're like trying to like give him hope, but he hasn't learned something yet. Like, and I'm not gonna like Bill Burr gave him one rule, which was like no Chinese symbols or whatever, and he breaks the rule as like a joke to be like, yeah, you know me, like
right.
But I'm just so fucking pissed, bro. Like, it's like the immaturity level was something that was hard to overcome, and I'm an immature person, so like, I don't know.
It's like you had one job and you couldn't even do that right. They made it too cheesy too, with like, wasn't it like the picture of the four of them?
Yeah.
And then the dad's and the son or something.
Right. So
I was like, that's kind of too far for me. I was like,
your new wife's ex-husband is on your back now.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
A little bit like, it's like, okay, and the movie's playing it as like wholesome, and it's just like, is it? But yeah, I don't know. There was like not a lot of resolution in this movie, I felt, either. It like begins and ends with Kid Cudi, which is cool because I like Kid Cudi. But the pursuit of happiness was like pretty on the nose for me. And like just like by the end of it, like the character flips so hard in the third act to be like, oh, I'd love to, it's like, well, where did this come from? That like the resolution of him like looking up into the sky in the city to be like, what's next? What's the meaning? Is he finding the meaning? I was like, I'm not finding the meaning. Which maybe the movie's smarter than me, but like, I don't know. It just was like reaching a lot and not grasping.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Didn't feel like an ending. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there was gonna be more, but then it just stopped. I was like, okay, it's done. Yeah.
You're like, okay, it is done. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, because when I ended the movie, I thought, I felt like this would be more emotional. As a man with daddy issues myself, I'm like, oh, this could be relatable. Not so much.
Didn't even let you.
But then with like one of my friends sent me like his list of his favorite movies like ever, and King of Staten Island's on there, and I'm like, did I miss something with this movie? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, his other taste was fine. I mean, I'm like, yeah, these are good movies. But then I saw King of Staten Island, and I was like, really? This one? But okay. I mean, each their own. But so maybe I'm with you there, Matt. Maybe the movie's smarter than I.
It must hit people differently. I mean, I found all the characters very relatable and stuff, so like I could identify with like the group, the hangouts, and like maybe because maybe that's where people were just like, yeah, I know those people, like, so that's where all the enjoyment comes from. But then I just have too many 100 levels of fucking criticism about movies in my head, so I just can't like let it go.
Maybe you'll have a crisis after this movie review and think maybe I'm too hard on movies.
Yeah, I gotta go flip flop back to King of Staten Island 5 stars, man. Like, holy shit.
Greatest movie of the day.
Yeah, it's genius.
Now I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely on the lower end of Apatow movies for me, though. What do you guys think of some of the like cameos, like Machine Gun Kelly and what's Action Bronson, right? He was the guy that got stabbed, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge Machine Gun Kelly fan, but I got to give him a little bit of credit that I found his character slightly believable. I was ready to be like, yeah, fucking Machine Gun Kelly, but like, he was fine. He played that little mysticism tattoo guy. I mean, that's his crowd, kind of. So.
I was gonna ask who he played because I don't think it flew over my head. I was like, who?
He's the tattoo artist that's not going to pay you anything, but fuck you. You can make your own money. Yeah, that guy.
I thought it was Aaron Carter, actually.
Kind of looks like
I'm
him
just
a little bit.
not with the times,
Yeah. That was him, right? That was.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure it was him.
Okay,
I know like him and Pete are friends in real
life. Right. All right.
Yep, there he is on the bottom of the cast here.
All the way at the bottom.
Wow. That one went over my head as well.
Yeah.
Twice.
2 times. Yeah, wow. That's how much he blends into the role, dude. That's how good he is.
He really
He was in the zone.
5 stars.
Yeah, he's a man.
Yeah.
Art.
But I mean, I'm a huge Bill Burr fan too, so anytime he's in a movie, it's already going to elevate it for me. That guy just brings relatability. I don't know, man.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite scenes was him and Marissa Tomei having coffee, and it's just them kind of like talking about their lives, getting to know each other, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's just one of the best ones for me because those are just 2 masterclass like relatability actors, like just doing their thing.
For sure.
Yeah, but the last little note I have that I kind of wanted to pose as a question to people, and I'm curious where you guys land, is Maud Apatow a good actress? She was like his sister, Pete's sister in the movie or whatever, Scott's sister.
Yeah.
So if you remember her, she's in Euphoria right now too. She's Judd Apatow's daughter. So I just wanted
Nepo baby.
Yeah. I just wanted to question what you guys think about her because like I wonder when she's on screen, it's like she can like flip from like true believability to like holy shit actor class like garbage, like you're just trying so hard because you think you know what acting is like, and it's like I couldn't really gauge. I was curious what you guys thought, but And I don't know. There's a funny line too about like nepotism in this movie, about how like nepotism's like a terrible disease.
Is it Knocked Up? The one couple is basically him and his wife. Like that. He's
Oh, this
like,
is 40,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
that and
that-
this is
that
40.
comes
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
Knocked Up. Yeah, but it's that couple, Paul Rudd
And his
Leslie
wife.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Yeah.
And he puts his daughters in like all of his movies, but
right.
Mhm.
I just like I was like cringing and then being like, oh, pretty good. It was like, it was just like
out of it.
it was like a whiplash for her. But apparently she's like really good in Euphoria. I haven't watched that show. I don't really know if I want to, but
I've seen some scenes, but I mean, it's not something like, oh my God, Emmy nominated.
you're not on the hype
Like,
train.
I mean,
Really?
not like Zendaya.
You just don't get it, man.
But yeah,
Yeah, you're not going through those teen issues like these guys are nowadays.
no.
But
You still
I
get
feel
it.
like you need a shower. I need a shower every time I like see a trailer for Euphoria. I don't know why. It just feels like teenagers.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You shouldn't be watching it. It's naughty.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I don't know. I just like had to pose that question to people. Let me know what you
Yeah.
think if you leave a comment, because I'm curious
get
what
it.
people think.
You don't like his daughter, and that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would land on this one for like 2.5, and I think I'm being a little more critical, but it did the job. Not much more for me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm at
Yeah,
a
I think I put it.
3.
Sorry. Oh yeah, 3.5 for
Yeah.
me. I really did enjoy it. It gave me the feels. Like I teared up once or twice, laughed
Really?
more.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe I'm just emotional this week, or it's the Christmas season soon, so maybe. But yeah, 3.5 for me.
Yeah, I had it at 3 after my first viewing. I bumped it up half a star this one, just because I think I could appreciate it a little bit more and
Nice.
related to it a little bit more than the first time. So.
Cool.
Interesting.
Well, this one spans the range of 2.5 to 3, so somewhere in there. But,
Somewhere there.
yeah.
Coming from the most critical one here, I think, I just think that you're being a little too harsh. So
Okay, I'll watch this one again and get back to you. All right. Let me get another year.
it's interesting that you went through this crisis of thinking you're too soft on movies, because I don't think it's a bad thing,
To be
It's
soft
okay
or
to-
to be hard?
to be soft on movies, or both. I mean, it
Right.
just depends on your personality, but I think, you just love movies and you want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I do. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, and then I try not to let my own opinions sour stuff. That's
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I poured a little sour mix in this one, but I don't know. I think I gave it its due as well too. So
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was a good one to pick though, because this one was on not the back burner. I kind of wanted to watch it sooner rather than later, so it was a good pick.
Right.
Pick,
Yeah.
Patricia.
Not bad.
Yep.
And we will see what we pick next week.
Next. Mhm.
Join us then. Yeah. Stay gold.
There you go.